Welcome to a Theology of Christian Permaculture. My name is Sean. Today's video is about the provision of the Lord, especially as we consider things like inflation in these trying times. So I was out here in the garden taking a look around, and I decided to put down some of this black fabric, weed barrier fabric that you buy at the big box store, the cheapest stuff. So let me turn this around. I made a video about this recently, and this stuff is pure junk, but I had already bought this, like a year and a half ago. I have like half a roll of it. I don't feel right returning it, so I'm just going to make use of it. Hopefully I can get 2 seasons out of it. If I can get 2 seasons out of it to cover up and to kill back a lot of this stuff in this area, that'd be great. One of the downsides is in this area, almost tripped, right here, we've had some cilantro naturalized. Now, this variety, which I think is called Slow Bolt, it doesn't have the best flavor to me. So it's not something that I know that I really want to keep. It just keeps growing and it keeps coming back, and it's nice to see that. And, I mean, considering this video I'm making, we really need to think about that. It may not be exactly what we like, but it may be exactly what we need. But anyway, so I'm going through, and here's a blueberry plant. These blueberry plants have sat on the porch for about 3-4 years now. So we finally have gotten them in the ground. We got like 7-8 of them in the ground. We still have 2 in pots. So I was going through, I cut a little hole. Of course, grass and stuff is going to come up out of there, but at least the majority of the area will have the weeds underneath control, and the blueberry will not struggle so much in the winter because there'll be moisture underneath, and even when it waters this stuff, the water kind of seeps right through. It doesn't shed off water, but it does keep the majority of the weeds on. It's just when it gets a tear, that's when it becomes a huge problem. So I'm going along and I'm getting ready to, because we already got these established blueberry plants, so I'm figuring out how I'm going to get blueberry plants in, cleaning up a little bit around, but most of it I'm just kind of knocking the grass down, hopefully letting it die there so it feeds the soil. And I come across this, and I've already cleaned up all the weeds around it. There's a ton of grass. I was like, wait a minute, I'm in zone 6. This is a tropical plant. This is Stevia. I believe this is a Burpee's honey drip. And for some reason, we did not plant this. I bought more plants this year to plant, knowing that they would only be good for 1 year. But check this out. In this area, it came up by itself. I think we did not remove the whole root mass, and it just sat here, and it was underneath some black plastic, because I did kind of tent this area with these posts and that black plastic there during the coldest parts of winter to try to preserve the sage. And then for a while, I was trying to preserve peppers that we had growing here. And there's that stevia right there. Stevia for me is like, as a diabetic, someone that has a fatty liver, someone that has an insane sweet tooth too. It's like a miracle of God, this right here. And, I spent a lot of money on buying stevia to sweeten drinks and to make smoothies taste, a bit better, especially green smoothies, or like lately I've been drinking a carrot, parsley, beet, spinach, and cucumber smoothie. Right? Doesn't sound very good at all. And it's not terrible, but it's not great, especially if you've never had something like that before. It's not going to taste good at all. But this helps mitigate a little bit, because they can tend to be a little bit bitter, even though a few of those things in there are sweet. It can be kind of bitter. Add some stevia, like in my green smoothies I make too every day. I add some stevia, and it makes it just taste so much better, so much. But look at that, the Lord's provision. But let's walk over here too, because we had a bunch of dragon fruit plants that we kept in the garage, and during the coldest part of winter, because those are like tropical to the, what is it, Asian island, Southeast Asian islands, Pacific islands, places like the Philippines, Indonesia, all those type of places. And I also had this pot that had a stevia plant in it. Well, it died back in the winter, and then all of a sudden, Spring brought it out, got a little bit of rain. I periodically threw some water in it because I thought it was something else was in the pot. And look, a whole nother container of stevia. And I believe that's also the burpee sweet leaf. No, actually, this one I got from a local permaculture gardener who just taken this year off, but Smiling Sun Gardens. Wonderful guy. Bought this from him up at Baker Creek's Spring Planting Festival, not this year, last year, like 2 years ago or whatever, 2019, I think. Yeah, probably right around there. And you can see my other stevia plants that I just recently bought. These two I bought. These are Bonnie, bought them at Lowe's. And then these had gotten hit by the sun and the heat really bad, and they kind of withered back, but they're recovering nicely. And these are the burpee, you can tell partially by the red stem, the burpee honey drip, which is like the sweetest stevia I've ever had, and it's amazing. So one of the things that we're always trying to plan for is things that will constantly come back, that we use to mitigate having to go and get something from outside and bring it inside your system, whether that's in your garden, like adding compost and all that other compost, and even spraying external things like pesticides and all that. We're trying to get rid of all those things, those external things, and then also those things that are harmful to the environment. But at the same time, also we need to be considering things that will help economically with the cost of food, and we're bringing food in from the outside. And so this is one of those things that's just very exciting, because now I'm excited to take some of these plants, kind of plant them in some inside the woven fabric, or I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. If you have any ideas, you can comment down below, and I'm open to any help. But this is something that that first plant that I showed you, that came up on its own. That's God providing something that is very, very important and meaningful to me, but yet is outside normally of my zone. And so God is here providing these two plants in two different ways of keeping them alive over the winter. I kind of knew that the one in the pot could stay alive, but I didn't think it was, because all evidence all winter long was that it wasn't going to stay alive. But this one out here, that's we had one of the coldest winters we've had in a long time. This one stayed alive during that whole time. I mean, I don't know, the root system stayed alive. It had some covering. So it makes me excited to keep some of the plants, and then to cover them up, and to see if they come back, and if they grow, and if they produce stevia here, in zone 6, maybe not perennially like where they come from in South America, I believe. But even if they are, they need some help staying perennial. So they die back, but they come back again. So exciting stuff. Very encouraging, because this week's been a little rough with my health and my liver. And I came out here just to do a little bit of this, and the Lord, even when we're imperfect people who just either doubt him, or lose sight so quickly, or even just many times we just sin and we fall short of his glory. But yet he reveals his glory to us in so many different ways, and one of the ways here for me this week, the encouragement was through the stevia plant. So God bless you, beloved of the Lord. May the Lord bless you. May he keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. May he give you peace. God bless you, beloved of the Lord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you find these videos useful. If anything, I just hope to maybe inspire. Like lately, it's been through my mistakes, so to learn from my mistakes, and to also just get out there and try. What's the harm in trying? So, hope something will be useful. And by the way, I'm getting ready to start a series on Genesis chapters 1 and 2, as they relate to permaculture. I'm going to start getting way back more into thinking more theologically about creation care, environmental aspects like ecology, farming, agriculture, those type of things. In this interim, I've been making these videos because I haven't been feeling so great. So these have been, easy videos for me to film, where I don't have to, spend a lot of time in deep study and research, trying to come to a conclusion on certain topics and ideas, at least the best I can in that period of time. So thank you for those who have subscribed, who have liked, who have been in communication with me through the comments. I appreciate all that. And some of you have given me some great ideas to consider for later segments as we tackle different ideas as they relate to permaculture and maybe the way that in ecology and agriculture and the way that the Christian relates to those, because I think it is very important for us, because the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. If it's His and the fullness of it is His, then we should be taking a serious stake in protecting and caring for our environment. God bless.